I'm Peter Sripol and I make things and stuff. When I was little, like, I don't know, 10 years old or so, I would always like make planes out of styrofoam dinner plates, like just a bunch of little concept gliders. And up to this point, I probably have hundreds, if not thousands of models built. So I think that's pretty good, like, prerequisites for building just a simple big model airplane. This is my first airplane, but as far as the biplane goes, I was looking at other ultralights on the internet, and I've never built an airplane before. So the slower you go, typically the easier it is to build the airplane. So the slowest airplanes I've seen are typically biplanes, because you get more drag, you got more lift. So I went and built a biplane. I mostly used foam and fiberglass mainly because I knew you could make some pretty light, strong parts that way. Plus it was the thing I had the most familiar skills with. First I just built the fuselage because the fuselage is, like, I don't know, maybe the thing people build the most out of. So I basically just did a three-dimensional in CAD. And I was like, okay, well I got these proportions, let me just draw them out in foam. And I just cut them out. You can't really see it too well inside the fuselage, but you can see the triangulation inside there. The spar is the same thickness as a Pete and pole. It's a 3/4 inch spar. So this looks like a big model airplane part, kind of because I took inspiration from there, because I build model airplanes. So this is like a laser cut firewall box. This is actually supposed to have a fairing over it and a water cooling jacket here at plumbing to actually cool the motor. But I never really got around to that because I was going to change the motor out to a different motor, so it didn't really make sense to do that at the time. So there are some newer things in here, like the quadrant is 3D printed. I basically have like model airplane servo testers. They've been jerry-rigged to work with sliding potentiometers. So I can just manipulate the two throttles that way. So I got that like that, which is kind of neat because 3D printing is cool and people like 3D printing. So when they see something like this, they're like, is that 3D printed? Well, yes it is. And then we have the plywood boxes to hold the ESCs, some direct cooling because I have high velocity PC fans in them to blow air over the heat sinks so they don't overheat. These are well oversized for the motors, which is nice, so I don't have to worry about them crapping out. And yep, we got the 3D printed pillow blocks here for my control coupling thing. The ailerons aren't linked up, so that's why that cable's slacked, but that goes through a little thimble in there and comes out that side for roll control. This thing is like, I was just flying by the seat of my pants. Like I kind of feel what this is doing. Very slow, very draggy. You need a lot more rudder than anything. It's nothing like Cessna where you can just feed in a little bit of aileron and just tap the rudder a little bit and you go and return. This thing you're feeding a little later on to begin with, but when you start putting in counter aileron, you step on the rudder a little bit more to get it to kind of hold the turn. Because it can't support itself in a 60-degree bank. There's no way, it'll just fall out of the sky. This is the shop, this is where I do all this stuff. I moved in here maybe about 2.5 months ago or so, out of my previous workspace, which is the basement, which is too small to continue building airplanes because I want to get more airplanes done, but I wouldn't mind putting them together and just leaving them together versus having to make everything come apart, so that makes my life a little bit easier. So we have planes hanging on the ceiling because, airplanes are kind of my thing. So there's an airliner up there with a light kit on it. There's some of my past projects. There's a fidget spinner, flinger, there's a propane-powered Nerf gun, a steam-powered Nerf gun, a smaller model of the Elon Musk flamethrower, and some other projects on the wall here, original workbench. We have some stuff over here. This is a 3D printed tugboat. So that came out of one of my printers over there. That was like a whole week to print. Oh yeah, this is a 1970 something Tonka Winnebago, but it's also electric skateboard now. So this is really fun because you can actually stand on this and ride it. Of course, you kind of feel like you're skateboarding a cinder block and you might break your neck, but hey, it's fun. And we have the Thomas the flamethrower, which has been stolen many times on the internet. Chances are, if you've been on Facebook or something, you may have seen this thing ripped and stolen on there. So that's where that came from, if you've ever seen it. You learn a lot when you build this, like I learn what to do with certain things, what works here and there, and what doesn't work. So that's kind of why I want to get the first one out of the way. That's why this plane is only meant to fly for so long, and then it just gets retired to like a party decoration or ceiling decoration or something. Probably for the next sort of airplane that I build, it'll be maybe another ultralight, mainly something a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, kind of moving away from like what other people have done. I'd say the airplane is probably one of the most rewarding ones, just to be able to fly and something like that, because everyone thinks about that as a kid. What if I take these cardboard wings and jump off my roof? Will I fly? Well, maybe change that from cardboard to foam wings and jump off your roof with an airplane fuselage, and it might work.